Okay, I'm just going to put this on the record. The major problem with the alleged justice court proceeding had to do with the act of securities fraud that happened in the case that was supposed to be heard while I was still supposed to be outside, right? Because we'd been let into the courtroom early. So we heard the cases that were scheduled for the half-hour segment before the one we were scheduled for. And the person of concern, the person being evicted in the proceeding before the one that was happening before the case I was involved with came up, was somebody who had a named reference to an IAD report I filed in Houston beginning in 2017 that I had to follow up on after I got trafficked to Dallas in 2018. And by the way, just so you know, today is 1 month short of 3 years from that specific report. That report was connected to what I alleged was large-scale securities fraud associated with a $1,007,000,000 pension obligation bond that also had other kinds of suspect informations that had been connected to what I alleged was the actual act of securities fraud, right? So all of these things are going on. All this is happening. I just want to acknowledge here, I have this book. I bought this book, the Texas Criminal and Traffic Law Manual, produced by LexisNexis, right? This is the 2005-2006 edition, but subchapter C, court costs and fees, right? Article 102.071, collection, allocation, and administration. The comptroller of public accounts may require state court costs and fees in criminal cases to be reported in lump sum amounts. The comptroller shall allocate the amounts received to the appropriate fund. There's a number of funds specifically connected to prosecution of criminal cases, juvenile delinquency prevention funds, municipal court technology fund, justice court technology fund, other funds. There's a number of funds that by 2006, 2005, and 2006 is a very important year in regards to the claims of securities fraud, specifically securities fraud regarding refusal to provide verification of a lease and other matters. But under Chapter 103, collection and record keeping, right? Article 103.003, collection. District and county attorneys, right? Which means federal, by the way. Clerks of district and county courts, sheriffs, constables, and justices of the peace may collect money payable under this title, right? Collection contracts, collection improvement plans, collection improvement program. This is an entire chapter talking about what it means to actually have monies specifically for criminal prosecutions. And by the way, they are required on a monthly basis to provide receipts and audits on a monthly basis by law. That means that when you stall for more than a month, when it comes to intentional obstruction of due process, what about 12 months? What about 24 months? What about 35 months, right? It's been 35 months as of today. That means every single month after I reported on what were criminal implications associated with allegations of large-scale securities fraud connected to pension fraud and other crimes, right? Because pension fraud, by the way, and securities fraud, by the way, are predicate RICO acts, right? And by the way, the kind of pension fraud and securities fraud we're talking about also qualifies under the money laundering statute associated with laws related to anti-terrorism and countering terrorism. And we're literally talking about it at that level. So don't talk to me about filing fees. And don't talk to me about court costs. And also, don't talk to me about trying to put an illegal $12 tax flip on a risk penalty the bank that brokered that muni bond you're hustling right now refused to address as an allegation of money laundering connected to an act of terrorism, especially on a completely false eviction proceeding that was in the wrong court and is right now coded to the only person in the judicial branch of government who on a frequent basis insists on putting her name on anything I'm trying to do. See, I know what you want. That transaction this morning was a really great claim if somebody else would be doing it in my stead and getting credit. But the thing is, what you set up was exactly what the target of the original allegations of securities fraud is, i.e., people abusing their jobs in the public trust, including the seats of government, to traffic children to launder money. Right? I haven't bought any children into this. But I have a feeling that the reason you keep playing this flip puzzle is because you want me to commit with you to traffic children for me to get due process. Read the damn case. Read the motion. Stop taking and selecting what you like and hustling deals on the down low. It's that serious. Now we've got 35 months, guys. 35 months in Dallas, in Austin, and in Houston. 35 monthly reports on all of the receipts and audits connected to collections associated with prosecution of criminal charges. Dallas, Austin, and Houston. 35 months as of today.